want to tell you guys, I come here, couldn't have two of these chairs. I'm like, oh no, because we've been doing online comedy so much that I'm used to just my face being in screen, and now I'm like, how can I not sit so it's lighter here? But yeah, I met Caden on campus. This is when I started changing my life, because like prior to meeting him, I was just a drifter. I didn't know what I was doing when I knew I wanted to do something, and eventually situations in my life, I lost my twin brother to gang violence, and that really just made me think, what am I doing with my life? How can I change my community? And then I decided to quit my day job, just quit, and go back to school, where I went to go study public management, which is public administration and communication, and in the hopes of going to Parliament one day and changing the world. And that's where I met Caden.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inspired Minds. Today's guest is Arlene Peterson. Hello Arlene.
Hi, hey guys, I'm excited to be here.
Share with everyone who you are and what it is that you're doing.
Okay. I'm Arlene Peterson. I'm a local comedian all the way from Lavender Hill. I'm a plus size model. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a singer. I dabble in some poetry, but mostly I'm a stand-up comedian. All the way from Lavender Hill Estates.
And let's speak about how you met and how I almost bombed campus. Because we studied public management together.
Oh wait, I just want to tell you guys, I come here, couldn't have two of these chairs. I'm like, oh no, because we've been doing online comedy so much that I'm used to just my face being in screen, and now I'm like, how can I not sit so it's lighter here? But yeah, I met Caden on campus. This is when I started changing my life, because like prior to meeting him, I was just a drifter. I didn't know what I was doing when I knew I wanted to do something, and eventually situations in my life, I lost my twin brother to gang violence, and that really just made me think, what am I doing with my life? How can I change my community? And then I decided to quit my day job, just quit, and go back to school, where I went to go study public management, which is public administration and communication, and in the hopes of going to Parliament one day and changing the world. And that's where I met Caden. But this bruh, one day I get to campus, and my friend and I, Zaida, we get to campus, and there's this wanted poster with a face on. It's like a wanted sign. First thing we saw is Caden's face. We're like, Caden is wanted, this Caden is in our class. And Caden is wanted because the day before that, he decided to put a Gatsby, guys, in foil wrapping in the microwave. I see sparks fly. He ran away from the microwave. The microwave is in fire. There's flames engulfing. He ran away. So now we know Caden is a flight of fright. Hy's flight. Hy's weg. He nearly bombed the campus, and that is Caden. Caden, the awesomeness. Why did you run?
Look, I was hangover. I went to the toilet while the microwave was on. Then I came back.
But the foil, didn't you know that's gonna create
I was hangover, I didn't know nothing.
But he was quiet because he felt when I get
Yeah, so, but I've learned my lesson.
I'm glad.
And share with everyone your story, where did everything start for you? Because when I look at your statuses on WhatsApp, dan dink ek nou, waar is sy nou? Is she in Cape Town or is she overseas? Because you're everywhere. So share with everyone where it all started for you.
Okay, how much time do I have?
No,
I'll put it in a nutshell for you guys. So, I was born, just like everybody, in retreat to a family with everything. You love it most. Gang violence, substance abuse, domestic violence, like normal K-Flats family. And we moved around a lot. Because we never had a stable place, so like we would be coming home in middle of the night and there will be a bullet in the door from the landlord, and I would then have to leave with my mom, and we didn't know where we were going to go, so it was very, very difficult. We grew up dirt poor, guys. Dirt poor. And I always knew that I wanted to do something with my life, but I didn't know what. And because I had such a tough upbringing, I feel like when we were put out in the middle of the night, my mom made me go to school the very next day, as if nothing happened. Like, her beliefs is that, why is your death certificate? You're gonna stay out of school when you show me your death certificate. And I was bullied. This person, Kaden, I was bullied in school. You don't know that I was put out in the middle of the night. I came to school with the same socks on. The next day, you don't even know, but they would make fun of me. You know how petty children can be. I hate children. I mean, I love them. I'm sorry, I love children, all of them. But they would bully me and stuff, but it motivated me as a person that I always wanted to be on top. Like, you can bully me, but my marks is going to be better than yours, bruh. I'm going to be top 1, top 2. Because like I was born as a twin, right? So there's always a competition between, friendly competition we would call it, who's going to be first and second in class, because I was blessed with a good memory. Because I feel like when you're in school and you're smart, you get high marks, people automatically assume that you're intelligent, but it wasn't the case. It was a case of, we never had toys at home, guys. So if I complained I was bored, my mom would give me a book. She would give me a book, read. And I started reading at a very young age, which meant that it expanded my mind, just like Inspired Minds. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. If you're not inspired, guys, you can't be here. I'm just saying. Yeah. That's why I'm here. So my mind absorbs a lot of information. And we went on, we struggled through, and then unfortunately when I was in matric, right, things got very weird because my brother started engaging in criminal activities, and he started losing focus on who's first and second in class. I mean, that kept us going for like 12 years. And then he actually failed matric, right? And that was a downward spiral of what was going to happen in our house. We were never ready for my twin brother joining a gang. And you guys know, man, it's the same thing. I don't even have to say it. Every second month you have to buy a microwave, a flat iron, like, you know the struggle. And it became very, very difficult on me, where whatever I was trying to do, I could never complete, or because there would always be that destructive energy at home. Like, just before I should study for a test, someone stole my Jordans, or I never had Jordans, I'm just lying, I just wanted to say that. Someone stole my shoes, and now I'm depressed because I worked for it, and now I can't focus, and it went on. When my brother was 23, we were 23, where my brother got shot through the stomach, through the arm, through his leg. And I remember when I got that call, your brother was shot and he's lying in hospital, and the way I felt, the last words I told my brother was, I don't love you and I don't hate you and I feel absolutely nothing for you. And I had to rush to the hospital to go ask for forgiveness. And my friend rushed me through, and I get to the hospital. He just came out of surgery and everybody else was there already, and he came out of surgery, and I'm standing at his feet and I'm saying, Aidi, kan jy my hoor? Kan jy my hoor? And the very first words that came out of his mouth was, ja man, van kleins af. And I felt like, nigga, you just came out of surgery, so for you know one so many, but that's the brother I remember. And from that day, I decided that whatever my brother's going to do to me, I'm just going to love him. Because ultimately, we can't change people. There's times when I thought, hoe gaan ze nie rehab doen nie? Why must he keep stealing our stuff? Why can't you just be right? That was me preaching to him instead of loving him, because God is love, right? So if God is love, then ultimately love changes people. So my whole life changed there, right? And we thought that he was going to change his ways and stuff, but it was all an illusion. As soon as he was healthy, within 6 months, he was just back on the street life and stuff. But I still stuck to my guns that whatever my brother's going to do to me, I'm still going to love him. Fast forward 3 years, my brother got shot again. This time, he wasn't that lucky. They shot him right in front of my house. I was one of the first responders. I had blood and brains all over my clothes. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget the smell of blood. Human blood. And I remember picking his body up and driving with my dad, and we're going to the hospital and we dropping him there. I asked my dad to bring me back home because I just had to get other clothes. It was so difficult, the very next day. The police came to interrogate me and my dad for removing evidence from the crime scene. I became angry at the world. But the difference was that this time when my brother got shot and he didn't make it, he left on good terms. Because 3 years before that, I got a wake-up call. And I feel like if I didn't realize what was happening and if I didn't make that change, then I wouldn't have gotten that second chance to actually ask my brother the second time. I had to reevaluate my whole life. I had to ask myself, what am I doing now, guys? I was never a bad person. I was a good girl, doing a few bad things just like everyone else. But I had to reevaluate my life because every time I walked into my community, I would see a cross. And if you see a cross in Lavendale, that represents someone lost their life there. And my first instincts would be, did someone go to that family? Are they okay? Because now I have first-hand experience. And that's where I quit my job. Quit my job, go study. At the age of 26, just reevaluate my life. At the age of 26, I quit my job, I went back to studying. And that's where I met you. So guys, I'm a 26-year-old back then. Studying with a bunch of 18-year-olds, taking life for a joke here, and here I am thinking this is my last chance in life. I have to prove that I can do this because I'm here on a bursary. People are investing in my life. There's friends and family that said, "Oh, do this. We will support you." Imagine going from having a day job, affording toiletries and food and everything in the luxuries of the world, now to having nothing, now to just getting your bursary and travel allowance. And sometimes I would even walk home so that I can use that travel allowance for the chip or guys, I need food. I need to maintain this body. And it changed my life. But there was always the entertainment part of me where when my brother got shot when we were 23-year-old, I went and found a church because I needed something. I needed God, I needed healing. And I didn't grow up in a church whole family. I didn't grow up religious or being exposed to going to church and stuff. At the age of 23, I go to church. And I actually found my little family, my little church family, where I'm currently 7 years in, I'm still there. So when I was 23 and I went and I found God, and that's where I started hosting shows in church. I would present youth service. Where the youth take over, I would be the MC. I would do the high tea of the church, and there another church person will see me and ask me to do their church thing, and their auntie will see me and say, "Could do my oma's 80th birthday." So there was always that, but I always thought that was my side hustle. I always thought that this is what I do. When people sell Tupperware and Herbalife and all that was my Tupperware, my doing comedy and stuff, but only in the MC space. So that has always been there. And after campus, Kaden, after studying the Constitution and all that, I actually went to go work, but in the private sector. So I went to go work for Pilisa, a Bakfazi, Beto. I could take 2 weeks to practice that before I could answer a phone. I worked for Lucinda Evans, which she's still part of the BBC list of 100 top influential women in the world. So I went to go work in the field it's what I studied for, doing community work, sitting in parliament, doing workshops, changing lives. But at the same time, my comedy career also took off. Because it's always been there. Guys, only in my world can I be the MC of my own farewell on campus. That's what happened. At my own farewell, I was the MC. But I felt that comedy found me. Comedy brought me healing. I feel like, yes, I went through a lot of trauma and pain and hardships. But now I'm able to go on the stage, and you guys might see that on the stage. I'm just smile to the stage club. When I go on stage, I will make a joke that living in Lavendale, losing my twin brother, but now we have a spare guest room in a densely populated area. And like bread lost for more than 3 days in our house now. Like some people will laugh, some people won't laugh, but I found that this is my therapy. The stage is me laying on a couch and the audience is the therapist. That is me in a nutshell. Also plus I'm modeling and writing and presenting and stuff. I'm just bringing it out there.
And what has been the most memorable time so far for you?
Yo, it's a sally gloony. Yeah, kind of a sally gloony. Are you ready? You're not ready for this?
I'm ready.
So guys, you guys know it's been lockdown and the pandemic and COVID-19. Oh, can it just be over now? I was really now, remember I said that I worked for Pilisa Bafazi 3 weeks before lockdown, guys. I decided that I'm going to quit my day job and pursue comedy full time. Because I mean, I've been getting lineup bookings. I was booked for the Jive Funny Festival at the Baxter Theatre, Girlie van Lavendale. And I got some more, I auditioned for theatre and I did all that and I got the gigs. So lining it up, I was like, I had to make a decision, my day job or my passion. And I chose my passion. And because I chose my passion, it has been hectic, lockdown. 3 weeks after choosing my passion, like what the hell? I reinvented myself once again, reinvent myself, and so everything went social media, right? So every night I would scroll on Facebook, on social media for opportunities, like people looking for a comedian or anything, and then I saw this thing for Lati Potaprit. It's a game show where you have to go make pochi food in a competition, and I've always watched cooking shows. I love it. It's been my therapy. Like wherever we moved so much, so wherever I went, I never made friends because I don't know I might be gone next week. So I would literally cook and pretend that I'm in the cooking show now at Onions. And I saw this and I'm like, I'm gonna take a leap of faith. And I entered as a comedian, and they phoned me back the very next day and be like, a comedian sounds fun to have on the show. And yeah, so I'm like, because I chose my passion as a comedian, it landed me the platform that I could go online to Potterbrand and actually participate in the show I've been watching. So in lockdown, guys, I'm gonna be on TV. I just want to say, I would like to thank my mom and my dad, all my fans and my supporters. So the 3rd of September, watch out, DSTV via channel 147. Arlene Peterson is gonna be on Lati Potterbrand. You guys are not gonna miss it. I brought some friends with. I've got Plasnar, I've got Mario Campbell and John Davids. We're gonna have fun. Watch the show. 3rd of September. That is my most memorable like actually being on the show and meeting. Have you ever watched Fekuk Palace? Growing up. Oh, the generation. What are you, millennial? Millennial. Fekuk Palace is it's an iconic TV program that if you were colored growing up on the Cape Flats, you watched Fekuk Palace, and the security guard in you guys will know, over and out, Alvin. He's the presenter on the show, and here I am meeting him, but as a colleague, not as a I found out, but I met him as a colleague and I will never forget that.
Beautiful. And how does people react when you tell them about your job?
About the comedy? They say, no, make a joke.
You know what?
They will always say, no, make a joke there. And then I will always be like, but you don't have to be funny when you're not on stage. I have come to realize that a lot of comedians, they overcompensate when we're just chilling, and what's one line after the other, everybody is just funny here, and I get quiet. Content, ik weet ik bereid bij je. I'm taking over the whole show here. I talk a lot, but when I'm in crowds like that, I keep quiet because you don't have to. I'm a deep person. That happen to be funny, so I don't have to be. People think when they hear I'm a comedian, okay, so you're gonna come entertain us now by the bride. Did I come work here? Like, are you gonna pay me? We are by a bride. I'm here for the food, bride, man.
That's all.
Yes.
And if you weren't a comedian, what job would you be doing?
If I wasn't a comedian, I would definitely be a chef. Definitely be a chef. Like, guys, I'm not qualified, no, but I've got years of experience of eating. I know exactly how food must taste and stuff. So I would be a chef because when I left my job, actually, now in lockdown, my former employee, which is now again my employee, called me back to ask if I can help out when they need me. So now I'm actually a stand-in house mother at the safe house. The safe house is there for gender-based violence, so women and children that's affected by gender-based violence will come to the safe house. And there, I get to cook and clean and protect the people that's there. So the more I'm cooking for people that enjoy the food, the more I'm like, I can do this, I can actually be a chef. Management, there's a sender and there's a receiver and then there's a message. So if I have a message and I can send it to a receiver and he finds it hilarious, that's a good comedian. But if you're just gonna go out there and make jokes that I probably read on a meme 2 weeks ago, then you're not gonna make it. So first of all, you need good communication skills and a personality. Bring your own style. Don't try to be like someone else. Bring your own flavor. Stand out.
And regarding relationships, are you single, taken? Is it complicated? Tell me.
Guys.
And don't lie, please, don't lie.
No, I've been single for the last 11 years.
Okay.
I'm single, guys. DM me. DM me, I don't care. Hey. No, I'm single. So I'm single and I'm actually ready for a relationship. Actually, lockdown has changed everything. Because how are you single in lockdown? Like, it's scary. Like, what is scary? You're getting HIV/AIDS, you're getting COVID-19, and it's AIDS. There's a condom. There's a condom. It can protect you from STIs and STDs and AIDS. What can protect you from? So I'm ready for a relationship. I think I found myself. I'm ready where I am ready to build with someone because I don't feel like I want to meet someone 10, 20 years from now and that person is just going to come in and take me for granted. And everything that I've worked for and stuff, and it should be on the same level, but I'm ready for that actually.
And it's everything on God's time.
Everything on God's time.
Because and for many relationships out there, I see people, they force it. Force being in a relationship.
The photo shoots. If you're in a relationship and you didn't have a photo shoot, or you even in a relationship. Like, I just had this conversation with a friend this morning when I said that people feel under pressure that they must go into a relationship for the sake that everybody has girlfriends or partners or boyfriends. I'm trying actually to get the right pronoun. Because I don't want to say girlfriend or boyfriend, so I'm starting to, we should regulate saying partner.
Yeah.
So that when people of same sex refer to their partner as a partner, then you don't have to feel like, what is she talking about? So if I'm straight and I want to refer to my partner as my partner, we should all just do that. So, yeah.
And while you were in quarantine, what was the most challenging time for you that you can remember?
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna cry. The most challenging for me would be obviously now converting from having a live audience to nothing, and now having to reinvent myself and do online comedy. Well, I was never a fan of Instagram even. I had someone, guys, that did my Instagram for me. Thank you, Amy. You did a good job. I would literally send her pictures of where I am and she will post it on Instagram and she will tell me, oh, you have a DM. And I would be like, a DM. Don't know what's a DM, but I'm telling you what I have a DM. So it's never into that. I just wanted the live audience and do my thing, and someone else did that for me. Obviously now with lockdown, I had to now take charge of my own social media because now everybody was running to Instagram to do live stories. And then at that time of lockdown, the real start, I had a cell phone that you had to like charged for 3 hours and then you can only use it for 10 minutes because of the battery, and it's a Samsung S5. Can you imagine? S5. And now everything went online, and now because I was booked to do the Jive Funny Festival, they did an online campaign where they included me because I was now asphalt for not getting this opportunity, but klaar op die poster, langs aan almal. And then they included me in the online, but now I needed a cell phone. Look here, I said yes to that campaign, full knowing that my phone is not gonna do this. I literally borrowed both of my neighbor's cell phones. I would borrow that neighbor's phone and that neighbor's phone. Obviously wipe it off with sanitizer, guys, don't judge me now. And then I would record myself doing my 5-second joke and have the other phone showing the audience that I did it in 5 seconds.
True.
And then I had to send it via my Drive and Google Drop, and the anxiety of not knowing how the stuff works. Now we're online. Now I have a new challenge. I now have to record myself, go live, figure out. So now I'm a producer, a director, a presenter, a writer for my own show, which I'm just making up as I go along.
Yeah.
Now you're online all the time. Now you don't have data, but you go a gig finance. Now you have to go schedule data because you already committed to doing this gig. Now you're charging your phone and now it's load shedding. Now you don't have a battery. Now you don't.
It's a lot, eh?
Being online was the most challenging, but also the most rewarding.
Yeah.
As I've been doing that, I had to teach myself, I had to phone friends, guys, how do I pin a comment? Because everybody's saying, oh, you must pin a comment here in your life. So you must type something like, welcome to the show, my name is, and pin it so that it stays there. I had to phone people to do this. But because I've now been teaching myself that, other countries started seeing me online. And they've been like, now who is this? Who's this girl? Why do we know about her? And then they invited me to host their comedy shows online, which means I would be on my couch in Lavender Hill, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, host an online show that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia at 9 p.m.
Whoa.
And I would have comedians coming on the show from Limpopo, Ghana, California, Malaysia, Dubai, China, while I'm in Lavender Hill. So all of that, I felt all of that struggles of the network and the internet and teaching myself and borrowing phones and not giving up and scuttling data and going hungry sometimes because you have to buy a gig of data to be successful in your show. Because you need to save this. If you don't save it on IGTV, it never happened. You're wasting your time. So I feel my biggest struggle for lockdown became my biggest blessing because the internet leveled out the playing field, guys.
Okay. And what advice would you like to give to upcoming comedians?
Don't give up. Don't give up. One show, you might just bomb. The next show, you do that exact same set with a different audience and everybody loved it. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to another comic. You are not that person. I don't want to mention names. So you are not that big star. You are a star in your own right. Don't compare yourself. Don't let people change your comedy style. I had people coming up to me after the show and said, why are you making vagina jokes? Or why are you being so vulgar? Is it the audience that changes you or whatever? That's just what I felt doing it that day. This is my therapy session. Therapy sessions are different. Sometimes I'm hella funny. Sometimes I go serious on my crowd with a sprinkle of funny. So don't let people change your style. Stay true to yourself.
And before I ask my last question, where can everyone find your social media?
So you guys can find me on Facebook, Arlene Peterson, and on Instagram at That Comedy Chick. That Comedy Chick. Please follow me. Please follow me, guys. Like before this, I didn't care about followers. Now I love everybody. Please follow me. Share my stuff. I follow back. I do. I'm not one of those people that wants 25 million followers. They're only following 5 people. I follow each and everybody back at that comedy chick. Only on Facebook and Instagram because I feel that's so klomp platforms but you're posting the same stuff on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.
Okay. And if you could make one change in the world, what would it be and why?
I could make if there's only one change in the world. I would make free food. Supermarkets that is totally free. Anybody can just walk in and have food. Because I feel like lockdown, I keep on coming back to lockdown, guys, but it's been hella crazy. And lockdown taught me that there's people starving out there. Like there was a time when I was even feeling it and not having any groceries in the house. It's humbling. Ek hou van eat. Ek hou van kos maak en not and what have food free.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for taking the time and effort to watch this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and watch this
Click the
video.
sub button, guys, and follow me.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Arlene.
Thanks, Baden.